Hey, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson in truth. Just a quick exhortation for the Akim, for the faithful, in this thing of ours. Giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GM Master, true leaders of all Israel on earth today. Salutations to my fellow laborers, the brothers that are around the four corners of the earth that are doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. All right. And the confusion of face, Akim, that are joined unto us, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you, I say Shalom. This is going to be a lesson in humility and love. Two things that we all need to seek for. And then love not being the definition of love which is falsely taught in the Christian churches. Love is not an emotion. Love is obeying and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, which modern day Christianity teaches that the laws were done away with. But it's funny how they still want to tithe, though. That's part of the law. But let's start in Proverbs. Okay, because you want to be humble in this thing and not seek position. All you want to do, like I said last night in the live show, man, your desire should be just to make it and want to see your household make it and see your brother that's standing to your left and your right make it. That's all you should be. A King David, a mighty man of the Lord, number 3 in all heaven and earth. All right, as far as in the power scale, because the only thing over King David, according to the Bible, would be Yahushua himself and Yahweh. So he's third in command in all of the heavens and the universe, and he said that he would be a doorman, in the kingdom, that he would just hold the door. So if he can say that, but this is Proverbs 24 and 25, Salakia, 25 and 6. Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better is it is that it be said unto thee, Come hither, than thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince, whom thy eyes have seen. All right, so, that's talking about not trying to elevate yourself, but wait for the Lord, because, the elevation comes from on high. Promotion comes from on high, man. You have to wait for it. And if you're seeking to be that guy, that person in this truth, man, the Lord's just going to debase you and cast you away. Okay? It's as simple as that, man. It's just going to debase you and cast you away. All right? The Lord is looking for those who are going to be humble, man, who just want to do the work. Right? And that's where your heart, your mind should be. Next scripture is in Luke. 14th chapter and the 10th verse. 10 and 11. And it reads, But thou art bidden, go and sit in the lowest room. And when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, Friend, go up higher. Then thou shalt have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. It's just like the scripture says, the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. All right, so who's first in this society? The so-called white man. He's going to be last. Okay? And who is Edom? Or should I say the Edomites? Because there's some Jakes who look white, and there are some Edomites who look black, so-called. All right? So it's not a color thing, which everyone seems to not bring up that point. We only say so-called white or so-called black so that you understand what we're talking about. This is a seed thing, and not to change the lesson, but there is something called the confusion of face. And there are black people walking around, so-called black, who really have so-called white forefathers, therefore making them really dark white people. Okay? And you have some so-called white people walking around who have dark forefathers, really making them pale-faced black people. So that is when the Bible is talking about the confusion of faces because of the intermingling, and the Israelites got scattered to the four corners of the earth. Therefore, a lot of them look like the said nations where they got scattered to. Simple. It's not difficult at all. All right. Continuing to the lesson at hand. All right. This is about humility. All right. I'm going to go to the book of Job, the 22nd chapter and the 29th verse. When men are cast down, then thou shalt say, there is a lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. So like I said, in this society, the first shall be last. So if you're looking for fame and glory on this side, you're going to go right down with Esau, the so-called white man. For those of them who actually are white people, who so-called white people whose nationality actually goes back to Esau, Edom. All right. You're going to go down with them. You wanted to live well in this society. You know, that whole scripture in, I believe it's 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, I think, the death by pain. You know what? Let's look for that. I think it's 2nd Ezra. Or it could be Sirach. Yeah, maybe it is Sirach. Those are two books I often get confused when I'm looking for certain scriptures. Yeah, it's definitely Sirach, the 12th chapter. Yep, the 12th chapter. You know, about setting thy enemy. No. Salakia. See, now that I said it, you know, the Spirit won't let me let it go, man. Won't let me let it go. But that's going to take me away from the lesson. So, you know what? I'm going to be disciplined and let it go. Maybe I'll come back and revisit it. But yeah, you definitely, you know, when you go off, man, that death by pain is coming. Next scripture is going to be in Psalms, the 18th chapter. Psalms 18 and 27. For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but will bring down high looks. So that pride, man, you know, will get you destroyed, man. Lord is not dealing with prideful people, man. It would definitely get you destroyed. All right? Because your duty is to serve the Lord, man. This is Psalms, also in 18, 21, and 22. For I have kept thy ways, Salakia, I have kept the ways of Yahweh and have not wickedly departed from my power. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. So, when it says in Malachi that he is the Lord and he changed not, for anyone to say that the laws are done away with, they're adding to or taking away from the Holy Scriptures. They're changing the doctrine. That is a false prophet who's teaching for profit. That's why they do that, because, you know, people like to eat shrimp and lobster and pork. You tell them they can't do that, and they'll fight you tooth and nail just so they can do wickedly, man. All right? I had my very own niece come against me, you know, many years ago, talking about that. And she tried to bring out what comes out of a man's mouth to foul of him for an excuse. And that's why she big as hell right now anyway. I can only imagine her health and all kind of messes in danger, you know. But she came against this truth, man. And she kind of been like distant from her own mother and her brother, man, you know. Took my little nephew away, ain't seen her since, man. You know, but the Most High bugged out because what? She came against this truth, man. She did. All right? Because when it says what cometh out of a man's mouth, it's talking about doctrine, not food. All right. So what she did was exactly what the Bible was talking about. What came out of her mouth was offensive to the Lord, man. And he, it seemed like he jacked her up for it. All right. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12 and verses 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear power and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For power shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So every little thing you do is going to be accounted for, man. All right? There's no way around this thing. Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter, and the 12th verse. And it reads, And now, Israel, what doth the Lord require of thee, but to fear Yahweh, thy power, to walk in all his ways and love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul. So that means keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. As simple as that. You have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And for anyone who wants to say otherwise, let's go to the New Testament. For you you Christians out there, that the hope that some of you will wake up out of your madness and stop coming against the real prophets and the men of the Lord, who is going to be found among the Hebrew Israelites, man. I believe that's Hebrews 13 and 8, which is basically quoting Malachi. Yeah, it says, Hebrews 13 and 8. Yahushua HaMashiach, the same yesterday, today, and forever. All right? Forever. The Lord changes not, man. So if your pastor is teaching you that the laws are done away with and you can have a ham sandwich, that said pastor is a false prophet. He learned from his enemy. He went and got his papers from Esau Edom, whose job is to have you go off so that you be disconnected from your power. Duh. Some of you just actually do deserve death. And like the scripture says, I'm going to laugh at your calamity, man. I'm going to have no pity for you when the Lord starts killing you Israelites, man, by the thousands, man. When there's thousands of you dying every day. Because 2/3 is a big number, man, and 2/3 have to die. Okay, somebody's got to fulfill that lot, and I'm praying and hoping not to be a part of that, man. Last scripture. Never mind. That really doesn't apply. So we'll leave that as it is. Okay, so with that, I hope that this was an edifying and uplifting lesson, that those who needed to be fed were fed. And shalom and a Baba Ball.